Hey guys, welcome back. I'm just going to do a little teardown of these hydrostatic release mechanisms. These are used on board boats in order to release the life raft. In case no one's there to release it themselves, these will release once the mechanism is below 1.5 to 4 meters. How it works is the life raft will be strapped down, one securing rope going through here and the other one through here. And when it does go below that depth, a knife inside the mechanism cuts the rope and the whole mechanism releases. The life raft floats up to the top of the surface and it pulls a release cord which is tied to the actual boat, and that's the way the life raft deploys. Now these have to be replaced every 2 years and they've got the actual markings here. So as you can see, this one was due in December 2017. So that's why this one's no longer in use. So let's get to it. As you can see, there's 5 individual Phillips head screws on the bottom. Now I'm holding down onto here because I imagine there's a spring that holds a baffle that will actually be the release mechanism for the knife. So there's our spring. Now this rope isn't cut yet. This will be the thing that actually delivers the release mechanism. So when I release a pressure on this will slide across and there'll be a knife blade that actually cuts this rope that actually is connected through here. So if you heard that, that was the knife cutting through. There's the baffle. That was the release mechanism. Now this should be cut. Life raft will deploy. And everyone gets to safety. So to further get into here, we've got these 2 little pins which we'll have to get out somehow. And this will also have a spring, as you can see, gap. Large spring that goes through here that actually forces that knife blade through. So I have to hold this quite firmly to counteract that spring. Might actually engage safeties. Quite a lot of tension on this. That's why you wear your safety glasses. There's that heavy duty spring inside, so that's what cuts the blade. We had a section that fired out. That was our mechanism that was held in with these two little pins. Inside here would be the knife. Excuse me, the camera fell down there, so sorry about that. That's the knife. That sits inside here, like that. As you can see, blade has been used. That was what was in the end. That. So you can see it's quite a sharp blade. Now these aren't user maintenance friendly, so these are only one use, relatively cheap. But if you were going to reassemble them, you have to obviously get some new line, tie that through with a basic fisherman's knot, which is one end tied to another with a granny hitch on both sides. Put that both through here, knife probably re-oiled. Tricky part is reassembling this. You have to have this pin sitting inside here, and that's what triggers the release. So that would have to go in here. As you can see, that blade isn't engaged. Line. Holes back up. Smaller spring. In and through. Screws in. So once the pressure exceeds the force of the spring acting upon the baffle, that is when the blade will be released against the line that holds the life raft to the deck of the boat. And that spring is calibrated to 1.5 to 4 meters. So now to reassemble, this component is pushed in here. May be very difficult. seems to have done it. See, that pressure needs to be quite intense because it needs to cut through the line. So backing this back through. It's re-engaged. Test if this actually cuts back through the line. Okay, so as you can see, this line fed through. What we can do to release this again is take this off. Now obviously, if you were to redo this, which I 100% don't advise, because these are things you really want to have working at that dangerous situation. Emergencies, you don't want to skimp out and rebuild these things or check them. Just go back to the shop and buy a new one. If you were to put one back just for projects and non-commercial situations, you'd want to make sure that this seal, this baffle, is 100% sealed. Otherwise, when the vessel goes below 4 meters, the pressure would not be calibrated, as there wouldn't be pressure differential and the mechanism wouldn't work. But let's have a crack. You heard the blade go through the rope, hopefully, see? And that hasn't worked, so you can see that these are one use only. Now imagine what's happened is the actual grease that we saw earlier on the rope actually aids in the cutting of the fibre, and that's why it wasn't as effective the second time. Also, this is designed as a one-use thing, so the blade wouldn't be required to cut through twice. But it did manage it. There's a bit of pressure to separate it and a bit of twisting, but it did cut. So there we go, guys. This is the Hammar patented hydrostatic release valve. That's how they work. Cheers.